Every soul has its seasons, and every life has its chapters. This message is for the woman who can feel the credits rolling on the chapter she has been living. The story has reached its conclusion. The characters have said their final lines. The music is fading. But you are still sitting in the quiet darkness of the theater, watching the screen go blank, unable to stand up and leave. A part of you is grieving the end of the story, while another part is terrified of what awaits outside the familiar comfort of these four walls. This is the holy and often agonizing space between stories. You no longer belong to the past, but you do not yet belong to the future. You are a ghost haunting the threshold. You may feel a sense of restlessness, a quiet anxiety, a profound feeling of being stuck that you cannot quite name. The old ways no longer work. The old identities no longer fit. The old relationships no longer nourish you, but the new path has not yet revealed itself. If this is where you are, then understand this. The appearance of this video in your life is not a coincidence. It is a synchronicity. It has appeared now for one simple and powerful reason. You are ready. Ready does not mean you are fearless. It does not mean you have a 5-year plan. Ready does not even mean you know which direction to walk when you leave the theater. Ready simply means that the pain of staying in your seat in this dark and empty room has finally become greater than the fear of stepping out into the unknown. Ready means your soul knows it is time to move on, even if your mind is still clinging to the past. This video is not a map of the new land you are about to enter. No one can give you that. This video is something simpler and far more essential. It is the message your soul has been waiting for you to hear. It is the permission slip you have been waiting to give yourself. It is the gentle but firm hand on your shoulder that whispers, "It is time. It is time to stand up. It is time to walk out of the theater. It is time to close the book on the story that is finished, so that you may finally face the beautiful, terrifying, and glorious blank page of what comes next." The first part of the message you are ready to hear is a radical reframe of the very space you now inhabit. That feeling of being stuck, of being in a void between a life that is over and a life that has not yet begun. You have been taught to see this as a problem, a failure, an empty space to be filled as quickly as possible with a new plan, a new relationship, a new distraction. The first message is this: this space is not empty. It is sacred. This is the sacred emptiness. In ancient cultures and spiritual traditions, this in-between space had a name. It was called the liminal space. It is the threshold. It is the time between the caterpillar and the butterfly. The caterpillar, in its chrysalis, does not instantly sprout wings. It must first completely dissolve. It becomes a formless primordial soup. To an outside observer, it would look like nothing is happening. It would look like death. But within that dark, still and empty space, the most profound and miraculous transformation is taking place. The very cells are being rewritten, reorganized, and reimagined into something entirely new. You are in your chrysalis. Your old life, your old identity is dissolving. And it is a painful, confusing, and terrifying process. You feel formless. You feel lost. This is not a sign that you are failing. This is a sign that the transformation is working. Our modern world has no reverence for this sacred space. We are a culture of action, of progress, of constant becoming. We are terrified of the holy pause. If you are not moving forward, you are seen as failing. And so, when we find ourselves in this liminal space, our first instinct is to panic. We desperately try to fill the void. The moment a relationship ends, we are on the dating apps. The moment a job is lost, we are sending out 100 resumes. We will do anything to avoid the discomfort of the primordial soup. But in doing so, we abort the transformation. We try to emerge from the chrysalis too early, and we are born not as a butterfly, but as a wounded and incomplete version of the same caterpillar we once were. The first message your soul wants you to hear is this: do not be afraid of the emptiness. Honor it. Your only task in this moment is to be with the dissolution. To allow the old story to fully and completely fall away without rushing to write a new one. This is an act of immense courage and profound trust. It is the practice of surrendering to the sacred process of your own becoming. This emptiness is not an absence of life. It is the very womb in which your new life is being conceived. Once you have learned to honor the sacred emptiness, to be still in the chrysalis without panic, the second part of the message arrives. It is the first call to action. It is a whisper that says, if you truly wish to become a butterfly, you must be willing to completely and utterly stop being a caterpillar. The second message is this: you must let go of the old shore. Imagine yourself standing on the edge of a vast and quiet sea. Behind you is the land you have always known. It is the old chapter of your life. It may not have been a happy land. It may have been a place of struggle, of heartbreak, of not feeling seen. But it was familiar. You knew its roads, its landscapes, its shadows. It was, for better or worse, home. In the distance across the water, you can just make out the faint, misty outline of a new shore. It is the next chapter of your life. You do not know what grows there. You do not know if it is safe. It is the great and terrifying unknown. The sacred emptiness is the quiet beach where you stand, between the old land and the new. And the message is simple. You cannot swim to a new shore while one hand is still desperately clinging to the familiar rock of the old one. You must, at some point, let go. This act of letting go is not just a single decision. It is a profound process of release. It involves letting go of three things. First, you must let go of the old story. This is your identity, the narrative you have told yourself about who you are. I am the woman who was hurt. I am the wife of that man. I'm a person who is not good at love. These stories, even the painful ones, can become comfortable prisons. To let go of the story is to stand on the shore and say, I am no longer defined by that land behind me. Second, you must let go of the old grievances. This is the work of emotional composting. It is the heavy backpack of stones filled with your resentments, your anger at those who wronged you, your obsessive replays of what if. To let go of these is to consciously decide to empty the backpack, to leave the heavy stones on the old shore, and to walk into the water with only the wisdom you have gained, not the weight of the wounds. Third, and most difficult of all, you must let go of the old hope. This is the secret, quiet hope that the old shore might magically become a paradise again, the hope that the old partner will return, changed, the hope that you can somehow go back and fix what was broken. This is the last and strongest tether. To let go of this hope is the ultimate act of courage. It is to turn your face fully toward the new shore and to trust with your entire being that the journey into the unknown is the only journey worth taking. This is the second message. It is a call to a sacred and necessary ending. It is the understanding that every new beginning is born from the ashes of a true and honest end. Once you have made the courageous choice to let go of the old shore, you will find yourself in a new and often terrifying landscape, the open ocean of the unknown. And the third part of the message you are ready to hear is not a promise that this journey will be free of fear. It is the wisdom that will teach you how to sail alongside it. The third message is, you must befriend the fear of the unknown. The reason we cling so desperately to the old shore, even if it is a painful, barren land, is because it is familiar. Our brains are ancient survival machines, and they are wired to see the predictable as safe and the unpredictable as a potential threat. The open ocean of a life not yet lived, with no map and no visible destination, is the ego's greatest terror. This fear is not a sign that you have made the wrong decision. It is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that you are truly alive, that you have chosen courage over comfort, that you have chosen the path of the soul over the path of the ego. The fear is a natural and necessary companion on any journey of true transformation. Here, we turn to the ancient wisdom of the Stoics. The Stoics taught that the primary cause of human suffering is our futile attempt to control that which we cannot. We cannot control the weather on the ocean. We cannot command the waves to be still. We cannot know for certain what lies beyond the horizon. To try and do so is to live in a state of constant, exhausting anxiety. The wise person, the Stoic sailor, does not try to control the ocean. She turns her focus to the one and only thing she has absolute authority over, her own vessel. She does not waste her energy fighting the waves. She uses it to learn how to be a better sailor and to build a stronger boat. Your boat is your own being. It is your body, your mind, your soul. Building a stronger boat means tending to your health. It means cultivating your resilience. It means clarifying your own core values, which are the rudder that will guide you through any storm. Learning to be a better sailor means learning to navigate your own inner world. It means feeling your fear without letting it take the helm. It means learning to trust your own intuition as your truest compass. The practice, then, is not to try and eliminate the fear. It is to befriend it. When the wave of fear rises, you do not have to be swept away by it. You can learn to acknowledge its presence, to honor its message, which is simply that you are in new territory, and to then, consciously, turn your focus back to the steering of your own ship. You can say to your fear, "I see you, I feel you, you are welcome here," but you are not the captain. This is the silent break. You stop seeing fear as a stop sign, and you start seeing it as proof that you are moving in the direction of your own expansion. You are no longer a victim of the ocean. You are its partner in a great and beautiful dance. So you have let go of the old shore, and you are learning to befriend the fear of the open ocean. But now the great practical question arises: how do you navigate without a map? How do you make choices when the future is an unknown territory? The fourth part of the message is the answer. It is the tool for the journey. The message is this: your soul is the only compass you will ever need. Let us understand the profound difference between a map and a compass. A map is an external tool. It is a rigid, predetermined plan created by someone else. It shows you the entire journey from a distance. The ego loves maps. It loves the illusion of certainty, the feeling that the entire path is already known, and all you have to do is follow the steps. In your old life, you were likely always searching for a map, the 5-step plan to a perfect career, the 10 rules for a happy relationship. But in the sacred emptiness, in the liminal space, there are no maps. The old maps have burned, and the new land has not yet been charted. To continue to search for a map here is to remain lost. A compass is a different kind of tool. A compass does not show you the destination. It does not show you the entire journey. It does only one simple and profound thing. It shows you the direction of true north from exactly where you are standing in this very moment. Your soul is this compass, and its true north is the direction of your own deepest alignment, your own highest truth. The practice, then, is to stop searching for a map and to start learning how to read your own internal compass. This is the practice of radical trust in your inner knowing. It is a shift from looking outward for your answers to looking inward. This is what the practice looks like. In a moment of confusion, of uncertainty, when you are faced with a choice and your logical mind is spinning in circles, you must pause. You must stop asking your friends for their opinions. You must stop searching online for an answer. You must stop trying to figure it out with your intellect. You will instead get quiet. Place a hand over your heart or over your gut. Take 3 slow, deep breaths and bring your awareness out of the noise of your mind and into the quiet wisdom of your body. And you will ask your inner compass one simple question. Not, what should I do with the rest of my life? That question is too big, and it is the question of the mapmaker. You will ask the question of the sailor, the question of the present moment. What is the next right step? Not the whole journey, just the next single, small, courageous step that feels most aligned with your true north. And then you must learn to listen to the answer. The answer will not be a loud logical argument. It will be a subtle feeling. It will be the choice that, even if it is the scarier one, feels a little lighter in your body. It will be the path that feels a little more expansive, a little more peaceful. It is the quiet, undeniable yes that you feel in your very cells. This is the practice. You pause, you ask, you listen, and you take that one next step. This is how you navigate the ocean, step by step, breath by breath, trusting the unwavering needle of your own soul. So you have let go of the old shore, you have befriended your fear, and you have learned to trust the quiet compass of your own soul. You are navigating the great open ocean of the unknown, one right step at a time. And so the final part of the message arrives. It is the promise of what you are sailing toward. It is the promise of the new shore. What is this new land, this next chapter of your life? The great mistake is to believe that it is a perfect paradise, a problem-free utopia where the sun is always shining and the seas are always calm. That is a fantasy of the ego. The promise is something far more real and far more profound. The new shore you are sailing toward is not a land free of storms. It is a land that is authentically and completely yours. The old shore, the chapter you have just left, was a borrowed land. It was a territory built by the expectations of your parents, of your culture, of your past. You were living in a house that you did not design, following rules that you did not write. The new shore is different. It is a sovereign kingdom where you are the architect, the lawgiver, and the queen. It is a life where your external reality begins to be a direct and beautiful reflection of your internal truth. This is the state of congruence. It is the profound peace that comes when your work, your relationships, your home, and the way you spend your days are all in alignment with the true north of your soul's compass. What does it feel like to live on this new shore? It feels like an effortlessness. Not that life is without effort, but your actions flow from an authentic place. You are no longer a river, struggling to flow uphill. You are a river, flowing with the powerful natural current of your own being. It feels like a clarity of no. When people and opportunities arrive at your shore that are not in alignment with the climate of your kingdom, your no is not an anxious calculation. It is a simple, calm, and obvious truth. You are no longer a public park. You are a sacred garden, and you are the wise and discerning gatekeeper. And it feels like authentic connections. You will begin to attract people to your shore who are not looking for a place to shelter from their own storms, but who are fellow explorers, drawn to the unique and beautiful landscape of your world. These are the connections that are not based on need, but on resonance. The ultimate promise of this journey is not a life of constant happiness. Happiness is an emotion, a fleeting weather pattern. The promise is wholeness. It is the deep, unshakable, and quiet peace that comes from knowing you are living a life that is finally, completely, and unapologetically your own. This is the new shore, and your own soul is the compass that is leading you home. We began this journey in the dark, quiet theater of a life chapter that had just ended. We were searching for a message, a sign, a permission slip to move forward. We have since received the 5 great messages for the soul at a crossroads: to acknowledge the sacred emptiness, to let go of the old shore, to befriend the fear of the unknown, to trust that your soul is the compass, and to sail toward the new shore of your own authentic life. But now we arrive at the final, most profound reframe of all. The title of this video promised that it would appear when you were ready to hear its message. And the great secret is this: the message was never in my words. The message was and has always been in you. The very fact that you clicked on this video, that you felt a resonance with its title, that you have stayed and listened and journeyed with me to this very end, that is the only sign you ever needed. This video did not appear to make you ready. It appeared because you already were. Your soul's readiness is the message. Your deep inner knowing that the old chapter is over is the message. The quiet, persistent ache in your heart for something more, something truer, is the message. The story is over. Close the book. Your pen is in your hand. The next page is beautifully, terrifyingly, and gloriously blank. The journey is not to find the right story to write. The journey is to find the courage to write any story at all, knowing that the most authentic tales are never mapped, but discovered, one uncertain and beautiful step at a time. Begin.